What's up, Radnor Aquatic Club? Welcome to a little video here. We're going to talk about some stroke technique, but before we get started, I just want to say I hope you and your families are all safe, well, and healthy as we kind of go through this new time, new stretch in our lives. Hoping that this video finds you safe and well, and hope everything's okay. Today we're just going to spend a few minutes just kind of talking about one of the most essential movements in all of swimming, and it is what we call the early vertical forearm. And for you guys who kind of operate in the blue group, if you've been to blue group practices before, you've probably heard myself or some of the other coaches refer to what we call the axioms, which are things that we believe to be true about all strokes in swimming. And one of the axioms that we spend a great deal of time working on in freestyle is what we call wrist, rotate, press. And wrist, rotate, press is basically just a 3-word cue that kind of encapsulates what we call early vertical forearm, which is one of the most essential movements in all 4 of the swimming strokes. All 4 strokes have this element in there, and the purpose of this video today is just kind of show you a couple of technical things and what that looks like when it happens, and then also to show you a few drills and things you can work on at home during this time when you're not in the water. Okay, one of the key things you're going to hear me kind of talk about today, and I'll demonstrate this with a few rack swimmers in a couple minutes, but one of the things you're going to hear me talk about is basically your elbow position, and something you guys can try right now wherever you are at home. If you have like a desk in front of you or a table or something like that, is to start thinking about this movement in the following way. If you stick your hand right out in front of you and just kind of extend it forward, and maybe placed on top of a desk or something like that, but just kind of extend it forward. And then all I want you to do is, while maintaining a flat palm, I want you to rotate your elbow up, kind of like what I just did there. Right now my elbow, I kind of turned sideways, is elbow is kind of flexing down right now. And what I want you to do is to rotate that elbow up. So it's almost like you're rotating your upper arm about 45 to 90 degrees upward. All right, and it should kind of look like this. This is the essential starting point for early vertical forearm. Your hand is extended, flat on something, or however, think about out in the water, and then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your elbow up. And what that does, it creates kind of like this elevated arm position in a sense, but it also sets up what we're going to work towards, which is the wrist rotate, and then eventually your arm is going to press back. And that's essentially how the catch works in freestyle. The number one mistake that swimmers make in the water with their catch, that they're a lot of times not even aware they're doing, is when they have their arm out and extended, they'll reach that arm out, and then what they'll do is they'll drop their elbow as they pull back. And what ends up happening is you lose all your leverage in the water. I really see this a lot with breaststrokers when they extend their arms out and then they drop their elbows, and it gives them that feeling of strength because they're like pressing up on the water, but you're not going to go that way if you're pressing that way. So what's really important is if you want to go back, if you press this way, you will go fast that way. All right, physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and that's what we're trying to emulate here with this motion. So again, the idea, hands extended, rotate the forearm up, and then we're going to get into wrist, rotate, and then press. And that's kind of the idea. We'll show you a couple videos of this right now, what this looks like from a professional level, and then we'll show you some things on land that you can do to help you out with this particular movement. All right? Okay, let's take a look and see how some of the best swimmers in the world do this. So we're going to start with Caleb Dressel here, and Caleb Dressel is obviously one of the best swimmers in the world right now, especially in the sprint events and 100 freestyle, 100 butterfly. But this is his 100 freestyle from the World Championships last summer. And you want to take a look at his left arm in particular. This is the beginning phase of wrist, rotate, press. You'll see he's got his left arm extended, and he kind of bends his front wrist at about a 45-degree angle, maybe a little less than that, 30 to 45 degrees, somewhere in that neighborhood. But he initiates his catch starting with that wrist flexed forward. Now the next thing you're going to see is he's going to rotate. This front half of his arm is going to rotate down a 90-degree angle. Okay, so you're not going to see his whole arm move. It's only going to be from his elbow down to his hand is going to rotate down. So I'm just going to play that little portion, and then you'll see how he gets vertical here. And this is what we call the vertical forearm. Okay, and there's a lot of different variations of this, but he gets his hand vertical so that he can push water straight back so that he can go forward. All right, and that's the crucial thing with this movement, is every time he gets that hand forward, you're going to see him go wrist, rotate, press. Wrist, rotate, press. Wrist, rotate, press. And that's his movement the whole way throughout the entire stroke. All right, he's always setting up that left hand initially in this picture anyway. There's his wrists. Here comes the rotation. All right, and you can see his elbows kind of pointed upward, just like we were demonstrating earlier in the video, and he's pressing backwards. Let's go one more. Here's Simone Manuel, one of the best freestyler women swimmers in the world. Again, perfect example of wrist rotate press. You'll watch her right arm here, especially as she gets it set. Here it comes. Here's the extension. Right arm is extended here. Now she's going to start to rotate. All right, we're a little bit past the wrist part, but she's going to start to rotate. And right there you kind of see this is that classic vertical forearm. All right, that really drives her through, and you can see her start to press back now. But that's a good wall of water that she is vaulting her body forward off of in this motion. So again, just kind of letting it play here for a second. Watch her get her left arm extended, wrist, rotate, press. All right, and this is such a crucial movement in all of swimming, is that you get that hand set and then keep that elbow pointed up while you push the water backwards. Okay, a drill that you can do to work on this early vertical forearm on land. Obviously, we're not in the pool right now. Something you can do at home to just start working on the flexibility with this and the strength with this is to just lay flat on the ground with your face kind of down in, on a rug or a carpet, whatever. And extend your hands out in front of you, not fully stretched, maybe leave a little bit of elbow bend there. And then what you're essentially going to do is try to keep your palms flat in the ground, and then you're going to rotate your elbows upward, all right, as if you were doing that, that initial part of your catch where you want to roll your elbow up as described earlier in the video. So you're going to place your hands flat on the ground, and you're just going to rotate your elbows up. And you want to work on rotating them up and kind of almost like squeezing your scapular blades together, or working on the flexibility in your upper back with the scapular blades, because that's going to really strengthen the muscles you need to hold that catch when you swim. And here's just a couple examples of that to help you kind of see what's going on. All right, I'm going to try another drill right here. This is something you can do if you have like a hardwood floor leading up to a staircase. Now, this is only 3 steps. Please, I would not advise you to do this on like a full-blown staircase. If you've got a small landing like this, you might be able to pull something like this off. But what I just want to show you here is I have Nora laying on just a towel so it can slide pretty easily on the floor. All right, and I'm just going to do a little demo for what happens if she gets herself into early vertical forearm versus when she doesn't. All right, so I'm going to have her put her right arm extended, put your left arm on your back. All right, just kind of hold it there. I want you to extend this hand all the way out. And right now, just kind of find like a coaster around the house, and I'm just going to have her put her hand on the coaster like, as if it was the water. And right now, she's going to kind of keep her elbow in her normal position, all right, and just try to pull back on the coaster as hard as she can. All right, you'll notice she kind of gets a little bit of a slide, okay, but one thing I noticed there was she's already done this a few times. She knows what she's supposed to do, all right, after trying this. Now I'm going to have her do it with wrist rotate press or early vertical forearm. All right, so this time I'm going to tell her roll her elbow up. All right, and now press as hard as you can. You'll see she gets a little more of a slide there, and that's the motion we want to try to recreate. We'll try the same thing on the other side now. Switch arms. Okay, so this hand is out now. This time let's do it without rolling the elbow first. Ready? Go. All right, now you can see she kind of pulled her elbow back. All right, and this time I'm going to have her roll the elbow. Okay, hold on. Roll your elbow up. No, roll it up. Now press. Not as strong with the left arm. All right, so that's something they all got to work on. Okay. One other thing I'll just have her show you too here. You can also do this with a set of stairs. This might be helpful, but this time put your arms out, put your chin on the stairs, back up. All right, I'm gonna have her chin kind of right at the stairs here. And this, again, great place to kind of simulate the motion. She's gonna put her hands. This is more for like a butterfly or even a very short part of the breaststroke pull. She already kind of naturally has her elbows rolled up. And she's just going to pull her body, leave her hands are just going to press on the step as she pulls her body forward. And to get this will also kind of show you what this motion should look like. Go ahead. All right, keep pressing. See how her elbows eventually come over her hands, and she gets to this position here. Keep your head steady. All right, let's go back and try it again. All right, so hands, keep your hands flat. Do me a favor, just put your hands, not to let your fingers grab the step, just kind of press on the step. All right, ready? Go. All right, she's just kind of pressing her way forward just to kind of feel what that should feel like with her arms and elbows rolled forward. Roll your elbows up one more time and do it. Ready? Go. Good. All right, thank you for joining us on a little technical video about early vertical forearm. Put it to work, try it on land, work on the movement, try to work on creating what it should look like, visualize what it should feel like, and the next time you jump back in that pool and you get a chance to feel it, really start to work with it with all 4 of your strokes, starting with freestyle and then working it in the backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. All 4 strokes have some element of it in there. You want to make sure you're working on it at all times to help you become a better swimmer. All right, RAD, we rad.